Welcome to a brand new episode of the Real Life Podcast, a member of the Nation Network of Podcasts and delivered by DoorDash.
Welcome to Real Life, everyone. What is going on right now?
I think that I'm in love with Matthew Tkachuk.
Are you guys all drunk?
Episode 380 of the Real Life Podcast, where Wanye says
I'm not in love with Matthew Tkachuk. Earlier, Wanye, you idiot. Playoff, war, every game, life or death.
Yep. Episode 380 of the Real Life Podcast brought to you by the HGA Group. We love them very much. Here to make your business better. Shout out to the HGA Group. All right. Few things to do. Few things to discuss today, I think. But first, I want to talk about the fact that, although the listeners can't see it, Wanye is shades on, vest on, rolling in the passenger seat of a beautiful Alfa Romeo from Alfa Romeo of Edmonton.
Hanging out the passenger side. Yeah, man. Well, I don't know what to tell you. Life is good. I know the Oilers won in 5. My shades are on because the future is bright.
Fair enough.
That's the way to look at it.
Yeah. Last night we were down at Beercade for the watch party. Myself, Jay, Kylie was there. Jared was there. When Matt Tkachuk put that 9th goal into the empty net, Jay, you were gone in the blink of an eye. I don't even remember you leaving. You were just like bang out the door.
Yeah, you know, it wasn't more. It was twofold. Like, yeah, frustrated with how things finished, but also I got to get home. I got this guilt. I gotta try to keep the vibes positive energy, positive vibes, positive outcomes.
Last night was not a positive outcome.
Smoke bomb out of there. But I watched the entire game at Beercade. I had some friends that came and I went and hung out with them for the last couple minutes.
Yeah. That was not a fun night.
Why? It was fine in the end, but I mean, it was a good time. They came back from a 4-goal deficit. That was rocking and rolling.
Yeah, that's fair, I guess. That's a glass half full approach, but
everybody's yelling, Flames jerseys everywhere, ambiance on blast. That was great.
The comeback was great. The fact that you blew the opportunity where like Markstrom was terrible and like the Oilers, Koskinen just couldn't give him a save down the stretch. Smith couldn't bail him out early. It's just like, holy shit.
Well, what are we going to go 16-0 on route to the cup? No, we're going to lose a few games on the route to the cup.
Oh, 100%. But that one, like, I think the score is kind of masking actually how bad it was for the Oilers. That was a total no-show by the Oilers. Calgary took their foot off the gas and we exploited that for a little bit. But then once they decided to turn it on again, they just like owned us. It was funny to see how, like, outside of McDavid, how everyone, to quote Jay Woodcroft, missed assignments all over the ice and mistakes all over the place and high danger scoring chances for Calgary by the truckload.
I thought Zach Hyman had a good game.
Hyman was good. McDavid was good. Yamamoto was good. And that's about where I draw the line because I don't think there was anyone else who should be feeling any sort of positivity about their performance in game 1.
Yeah. It was just, that was not the Oilers we saw in game 6 and game 7. I get Calgary is a better foe than LA. But you just hope that we would rise to the occasion. That was just like,
if that Mike Smith was going to show up, though, I'm glad he showed up for game 1, not game 7 of last series.
Yeah.
Oh,
right?
100%.
Like if that guy has to pop his head in and say hi, he had 2 shutouts in the first round. I'm glad it was in a game we could afford to lose.
Yeah, it's a 7-game series, right? So for me, it's like, okay, like it's funny, like how I felt after games 4 and 5, I felt way worse after those games than I do after last night. Because last night was just like, systemically bad. So I'm just like, okay, so let's just rewind, forget about it and move to game 2. Friday to me is a very important game in terms of how we show up and how we play. And that's going to tell me how this series is going to go.
If they told you before the game, the Oilers will score 6, would you panic?
All at even strength.
I know. Our power play sucked. We scored
strange
strength. We just couldn't defend. We couldn't defend. And sure, we dump on Koskinen for letting in some softies, but like he also made some saves. Like he was getting shelled, man.
How about Mike Smith letting in the least goals of everybody and getting yanked?
Yeah. His stat line goes down as like potentially the best in that, right? Like it's close.
Yeah. It's
in terms of
wild,
save
man.
percentage.
It's wild. Like
We did a show. We did a little show this morning with Princey. We did like a one-off Battle of Alberta shit talking session. Me and Koom and Princey. It was interesting to hear his take on things. He's like, nobody in Calgary feels confident with this win. Nobody. Everybody in Calgary, the narrative is the Oilers are renowned for starting terribly and getting better as the day goes on. And the Flames are renowned for starting great and then dying as the game goes on. And they're like, the Oilers are probably going to win this because they just get better as the game goes on and we get worse. That's the narrative.
So everyone walked away from game one feeling not good about their chances of winning this series.
Oh, I'd rather be the team
Seriously.
that 1-0. But yeah, like
The only guy feeling good is Brady Tkachuk.
like we tied the fucking. Well, he's hungover right now for sure, and so is dad and sister and mom.
Oh, his
and
dad is
granddad.
for sure.
The whole Kachuk family is feeling it. It's just, man, I get it. Calgary left the foot off the gas and we got it tied. Like we just couldn't like reach within ourselves to take that like extra step that was needed that we didn't have. Like it was like, and then just to give up 3 goals like that, you're just like, fuck, like, because Calgary's like, oh shit, we got to wake up. And then they woke up and we didn't. Like they were able to like fall asleep and wake up and we just like kind of perpetually were napping.
That Zach
Wow, they came back from a 4-goal deficit. That's impressive.
but that was a function. Yeah, we put some pressure, but that was a function of Calgary laying their foot off the gas. When Calgary was on, we couldn't contain them. We were just fucking everything up and letting them have every chance they wanted to score. And
wow, it sounds to me like you really love the Calgary Flames. Jay, is there anything you'd like to say? Jesus, Murphy.
Well, no, it's just that we let
They're terrible. They'll just self-destruct.
9 goals in a playoff game.
After 9 goals in the last game, too.
Like Connor
Oh my God.
Connor after a presser says, you know, if you score 4, that should be enough to win. We scored 6.
All at even strength. Like the power play was embarrassing.
Power play was so bad. We couldn't win a face off. Like I'm just like, I don't want to, I'm just like, I'm not that fucking mad, but I'm obviously venting about this, but like, we just did everything bad. So you know what? Fuck it.
Calgary's a good team. Like legit.
Calgary is a good team. They're a
good team.
Yes. They are built for the playoffs. You know, they're a good team, but like we weren't playing our game at all.
No.
We're chasing them around.
That looked like the shutout game in LA team. Well, no, that's not true. They scored 6.
So
no one feels good. Princey doesn't.
Friday is a big statement game. Even if we are to lose Friday, as long as we show up and we make it close, like once again, you know, what's the saying, your Chuck? The series, you don't have a series until someone loses at home or something like that.
You're never in trouble till you lose at home.
Yeah. So I just want to see a solid effort on Friday. Like, and I want them to win. Obviously, I want us to close this out in 5, but they just need to wake up because that was very scary.
Yeah. Bag Milk, you are here now. Hello. Welcome. I hope you're feeling better. I saw you tweet about how you had the flu.
I am not feeling better. That's that's kind of why last night's game feels okay. I feel like shit. So
your baseline of feeling is so low that this doesn't even bother you.
Well, and I just got another kick to the pills 10 seconds ago. So yeah, good day. Weathers lost game 1. It's fine.
What happened to you 10 seconds ago? Share with the class.
Nothing crazy. Just some crazy.
Oh, I see.
Crazy. Yeah.
Did one of your testicles fall off?
Yeah. Now I only have 3.
Oh, like a basket of grapes down there.
Mm-hmm.
It's all clanging around.
Yep.
Gross.
Vineyard.
No wonder you have an OnlyFans. It does so well.
Yeah. May need one.
Have you seen those OnlyFans ads where the guy's like, I play the piano, and the girl's like, I am a singer. Like, no one here does porno. OnlyFans. Don't try to sell me on this new era of OnlyFans. I'm not buying it. End of story.
I'm going to Google those commercials. I need to see them.
Oh,
yeah.
I see them like crazy. Maybe that's because, no, I'm kidding.
Targeted ads.
Yeah. Like the people complaining about the Russian bride ads on the Nation.
Yeah.
That's your doing, sir.
Okay.
Cookies, you know?
Yep. That'll get you.
Bag Milk, what were your thoughts on last night's hockey match now that we've got the OnlyFans out of the way?
I was surprised that, everybody was so fired up. about last night's game. Everybody. And then the people that needed to be seemed not to be. You know, the Oilers were so flat in the start. There was no urgency. There was just nothing. It was dry toast for 6 minutes, and Mike Smith couldn't make a save when he needed one. The Oilers couldn't clear their zone when they needed to. Calgary just ran the show. They were outclassed in every single way. What made it fun was Jacob Markstrom was also trash. So to pop 6 in on him, this guy's beatable. And if there's any takeaway from last night's game that I hope the Oilers have, it's that you can beat this guy. You can beat him. And if you make some adjustments on the power play, because the power play was just awful.
Oh my God.
They didn't get set up once.
No, not once. Calgary was so aggressive on the PK. So it'll be interesting to see what, if any, adjustments happen there. Because if you had told me that the Oilers lost 9-6, I would have never imagined that the power play would have been an issue. So there's just, nowhere to go but up from there, really. But man, they made it exciting. The boys made it really exciting. And I just thought when Yamamoto tied at the start of the third period, I just had these feelings. I was just like, oh, you dumb fuckers are going to drop this game that you deserve to win. And we're going to have something here. But unfortunately, they just, like Tyler said earlier, they couldn't get a save.
We're going to win in 5, not 4. So don't get too worried.
This is probably going 7. I think this is just going to be a good series. Provided we show up, this is going to be a good series. I just hope we misfired on every possible element of the game of hockey that you could. I guess outside of 5-on-5 scoring, but once again, that's a victory we're celebrating because the enemy had their kind of backs turned to us for a brief moment. But there was 30 minutes of last night that were fucking amazing, where it's like, oh my God, if they can get within 2 before the end of the set, oh my God, they got within 1. Oh my God, if they can score early in the third, all those things happened. I was out of my chair, I was fist bumping. We weren't high fiving at Beercade, we were high tenning.
Yeah,
it was a vibe there, and just for them to just immediately give up that goal, which and how it was given up, and you're just like, oh, for fuck's sakes. We just couldn't tighten up our game for the last 15 minutes of that third period. It was right fucking there.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't have it. It was clear we didn't have it. We didn't have it. And that's, we didn't have it a couple times in the last series. So, these things happen. I hope, the Oilers maybe take a bus ride and go for a nice peaceful walk around Lake Louise, regroup as a team, maybe have a hot chocolate. And get really fired up, reset and fired up for tomorrow and show up, because that is a big game, statement game. And we don't have to win to make the statement, but we better win, and we will win.
Watch party's going to be at Pint on White. And yeah, I'd again, it's just frustrating how it's the same issues that just seem to sink this team, right? Slow starts against LA, kill them. And it's what the hell, right? Even in game 1 of the last series, slow start. You should have been amped up.
But they won the series, though, you sad sack.
I know, but it's just how
they won the series, your MJ.
But the
it's
point
good
is,
news.
Not really, because the point is, it just seems more often than not, when
you're telling me beating the Kings in 7 is not good. I see.
I never said that was bad. I never said it wasn't good. The point is, more often than not, when this team should be fired up and full of piss and vinegar to go out and start a game well, they just don't more than 50% of the time. I know game 7, they started good, but it's just annoying. How is there not more? And it's been years of this shit with them where it's just they don't feel the need or the urge to start on time. Maybe it's because they read the schedule and they think the game is supposed to start at 8:30 and the puck doesn't drop till 8:51, but I don't know.
Man, I don't think things are that dire. They won the first series and they're down 1-0 and just scored 6 goals. I don't think we need to look for macro conclusions to make about the team stinking.
Not yet. No, you're right. Just move on from it. Move on. But it still happened and it's still fresh in our brains. And it's tough not to
You ever heard that Ariana Grande song? Thank you. Next. It's like that, but hockey.
Fair enough.
Move on. Just move on your M-check. You'll be all right.
What did we think of the entire Sportsnet panel wearing cowboy hats before the game? That feels like a weird way to choose one side in the Battle of Alberta.
Like all the teachers got dressed up and went to the dance in a theme.
I tweeted last night. They better be holding a donair for a segment when the series comes back up here.
Mm-hmm.
I just had a
Wearing a green onion cake for a hat.
Mm-hmm.
Wanye, how was your donair?
Good, man. It was good. Jared got hot sauce on his donair and no sweet sauce. I don't even know what to talk about there other than we got to find a new sales guy because that ain't right. I'm not that negative after this game. I thought it was a very entertaining game. I don't see anything that happened in that game that we can't bounce back from. I think Mike Smith plays best when he's embarrassed himself to start. And I think he plays best when he's seeking revenge, and he's going to be doing both.
I hope so.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, like I'm happy to hear that they announced Smitty is game 2 starter. I think that is the right move. You're going to have a fired up Smitty, and he's going to be determined. He knows yes, we gave up those chances, but 2 of those 3 goals were stinkers. Yeah. But we shouldn't have also given up those chances, but we did. You make that first save on that first goal. Not to say that changes the whole outcome of the game, but it definitely, it changes the score of the game.
Yeah. If you're Mikko Koskinen, you got to be kicking yourself this morning, right? Like all you had to do was play one decent game and you would have been the hero, and you may have actually even gotten the start in game 2.
He must have been like, what the flying fuck am I doing playing net this quick into game 1? Like he probably sat down, had a nice pregame meal, ready to chill, watch some hockey. Boom, bitch, you're in.
Well, we were giving up 5 alarm chances.
It was the right call to pull Smitty.
Yeah, it was.
You have to. Yeah. But
you have to.
Mikko could have Mikko let a few weak ones in, but it wasn't like he was getting shelled like the Kings would shell us all from the perimeter. This is like right in the slot, lower likelihood to save situations. Sure. Fuck, I wish he stopped that Kachuk 5 hole. That could have been saved. And there was that, I can't remember with Backlund or whatever one that squeaked through him. That I think that was the one that was the go ahead after we tied it. And we're just like, oh my God. But anyways,
we also learned about that wild rule in the penalty box where you can.
What was going on there? I couldn't quite piece together what was happening. Coincidentals?
You're allowed to elect if you've got multiple players in the box who goes up first if the penalties happen at the same time. Normally you would pair up with Kachuk and Shellington were in the box. Shellington had a holding call, and then Kane and Kachuk had coincidentals. So normally you go out, the guy had the holding penalty goes up first, and the 2 coincidental guys wait until they're trying to get out after a whistle, and they both go out. But you're able to elect actually between those 2 on the Calgary side who can go out first. So
one guy got paroled early. He got to leave early.
Well, he served his 2 minutes, but Shellington had to do the after whistle thing. Good coaching, knowing the rules, putting your offensive guy out first, and happens to then score a goal, which you're just like, oh. But why did he score a goal? A horrific giveaway. And that was just the name of the game, Giveaway City. We were just giving it away.
That was Draisaitl. That was a dumb mistake. That was also probably Evander Kane's worst game as an Oiler, I think. He was brutal.
Terrible. He was moved. That third guy was all just trying to cause. I can't remember second, third, or third.
Yep.
But giving a battle turn where he did boom goal.
Is Jay's internet? Is anyone else not hearing anything Jay's saying?
Oh, can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, you're back. You were just you went robot mode for those few.
I thought it was my phone. I was like, what the fuck is this?
No, I just got the badge. It says my internet connection is unstable.
All right, we'll take that out of the podcast. All right. Anyways,
right, our goaltending's unstable.
Yeah.
No, the whole team was unstable.
Yeah.
Except for
why would the internet be any different?
Vander Kane I thought was really bad. The blue line.
I'm going to look for a bright side on Vander Kane's game. I actually, I went pretty heavy on him getting more than half a penalty minute. So that had a plus 120 payout. So, thanks, I guess.
Wow. I guess.
Yeah. Covered that.
Got to look for some silver lining somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, the silver lining to last night is McDavid is still on a mission. He had 4 points last night.
Yeah.
And this was not the Edmonton Oilers that took to the ice yesterday. So, and Bagnall said earlier, it can only get better from here, or only go up from here. So I expect Friday to be much, much better. And that is a positive.
And we are going to be vibing hard at the Pint on White. Hard.
Oh yeah.
I intend on going very hard.
That's a good spot for a game 2, must show up game. It's a good vibe there.
Yeah. We will have a good time at the Pint on White, and we'll be giving away a bunch of stuff as well. So if you want somewhere to watch the game, come watch it with us. Pint on White. Jay will be there.
What are some of the big prizes that we're giving away through our charity raffle with free play for kids?
So this one is just mind blowing to me. 2 nights at the Fairmont Jasper Park Lodge. And not only do you get the 2 nights there, but you get an Alfa Romeo to drive out there in. So you get a high-end.
I went for a Donaire in an Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, and it's beautiful.
It's a beautiful car.
You get 2 nights at the Fairmont JPL with an Alfa Romeo to drive out there in for your trip. That's unreal.
Unreal.
We give away playoff experiences, so a chance to get you in the building for a home playoff date, and also the chance to go golfing with me at Cattail Crossing. So shout out to our new friends at Cattail Crossing. You can come hit the links with me at some point in the spring when the weather's good. Lots of prizes and an Oilers jersey. Yesterday, we gave away an orange Connor McDavid jersey, and the guy who won it was wearing an orange Connor McDavid jersey. And I was like, why do you need 2 of these? And he was like, I don't know. Of
course you do.
It was weird.
One's for wearing, one's for sleeping in.
One's lucky, one's cursed. Guess which one's which?
One to stock and one to rock. That's the gearhead way, man.
That was funny. Also, last night there was a guy in attendance who had just worked 35 straight days. 35 straight days out in Kelowna or Kamloops, and he woke up in the morning, drove straight to Edmonton, came straight to Beercade, and was at the watch party. And that guy was a beauty.
Respect. Name?
Oh, damn it. His name's slipping my mind. Alex.
Bastard.
It's Alex.
His moment. Alex. Well done.
I love it, Alex.
Charles, what's up?
Hey, boys. Sorry I couldn't join right off the bat, but I thought I'd drop in and say what's up and see how everybody's feeling today.
Chalmers, you're very active on Twitter yesterday and trying to be the prince of positivity. It was very good to see.
I thought he was having a stroke.
Yeah, well, I know, it was very off brand for you, but I loved it.
I don't think it is off brand because I've never been someone who shits on a team when they get down. I've always tried to teach my boys and tried to think myself that, you're never out of it. And down 3-0 in the first, down 1-0, down 2-0 after the first minute. I just knew what I was going to see. So I was triggered by just the thoughts of what I was going to see. And it just didn't disappoint. People who, claim that they're there 100% for this team are saying, oh, fuck, this team sucks. I hope they're better tomorrow, next game. And
I said that.
Counting them out. And I'm just like, this is the playoffs. They're never out of it. And, was I right? Kind of, 6-6 at one point. We're sitting there going, I'm looking at my family going, see, they're never out of it. We got to.
Yes, Chalmers, positivity.
And the storyline so much changed in that game from, I just didn't want to hear it the next day from, North American sports media that was going to say we had waited for this and look at the team that showed up. And I just didn't want to hear it. So I wanted nothing more than for the Oilers to come back and it swung the storyline. When they did, it was now it went from this team's not built for the playoffs. They can't match with Calgary. See everybody that, Gretzky sitting there going to see I was right, to holy shit, the fight's not over and the Oilers have something, but they just couldn't hold on. But man, when it was 6-6, I sent out a tweet that said, I am proud of this team because you could have easily given up, and they showed that they weren't going to, and it made me happy. And, you know,
they can score on Markstrom. They know they can.
Exactly. At one point, you saw he had 12 shots and let in 3 or 4 goals or something. And you're going, like, I know our goaltender didn't play that bad. And my view on pulling Smith, and I thought they might have pulled him a little early. I was hoping they would let him stay in there at 3, maybe take him out at 4, because what
really, I thought he had that wild look at his eye. It's like, this may go on all period long, gang.
Well, no. So what happens is they go down 4-0. You pull them. The same thing. The same narrative is going to be created if you pull them at 3 or you pull them at 4. At least if you pull them at 4, you're giving them a chance to circumvent that narrative, which is, and I sent this out too. I was like, I can't wait to see what he says. And I really hope that it is, I'm pulling Smith because I'm protecting him from the team that is playing in front of him and go back to him in game 2. And, you know, if they come back and Koskinen plays great, well, now you've got a decision on your hands. You've got the one decision we didn't want to have, you know, and no other team has that decision. Well, other than Minnesota, but they're gone now. And, you know, it's just, I think they pulled him too early. I don't know. That's my opinion.
I don't think so. Like that first goal was ridiculously soft. Like that can't go in. The second one he could have stopped. I didn't think that was great for him. So you just can't keep throwing him out there. Like you need to give your team a spark.
Right. But what goal on Koskinen was any good? What goal on Markstrom was any good? Like,
yeah, but now
Mike Smith had the least goals, Chalmers.
That's
Mike
hindsight.
Smith had the least goals of all 3 goalies. He did.
You know, I know. And you see that one that goes just middle of the net, glove side on Koskinen, and you're like, well, how's that any worse? You know what I mean? The puck was bouncing in a weird way last night. There was something.
The ice looked shitty.
There was something going on that was beyond anyone's control. You know, but yeah, I mean, and I don't know. There was a lot of storylines from last night's game. One was, you know, like we wanted to see if they were going to be tough, and off the bat, they sure didn't show that they were going to be.
Or at least they didn't have interest in it.
They weren't hitting. Puljujärvi hit somebody. Like, we know you can skate in really fast on the forecheck, but lay a hit. Like, I'm kind of at my wit's end with him. I just want, if he can just like start hitting, start creating something, you know. I don't know, man. I don't know. The Kachuk Evander Kane thing was also very funny because I was lip reading that right when he was saying.
That was so funny when you showed up on Twitter lip reading, Chalmers. That was great.
Before
that's probably my highlight of the period.
Before the penalty, he's asking Kane, "Do you need some money? Do you need some money?" And he says it like 3 times, and then you know the chirps weren't good. I don't know if they could hear each other, but they just kept repeating themselves. Going back to the well, you know, with the same old things. And uncle on the shots of Kachuk's family, like uncle already. Okay, we get it. Kachuk's family's there. Like, enough is enough.
You're not a fan of Brady Kachuk?
I like that. I thought it was funny.
Brady Kachuk walking up with two Bud Light Tallies in his back pocket. And
we should trade for him. We should open up the vault. We should get the draft picks out. We should get him so he could play his brother for 20 years.
It's like, grow up, get a box. You guys are multimillionaires.
Oh my God. Listen to you.
That's actually, I didn't think of it that aggressively, but I even thought about how like at Oilers games, like the wives and girlfriends for the playoffs are just like sitting in the stands with everyone else. And I'm like, the
Kachuk family is of the people.
I know, but I just think it's weird how like, if I had that kind of money, I would want to go sit in a box. And
so
like,
the first thing you would do with money is remove yourself from the people?
Yes.
Wow. I hope none of your bets come in and they don't change your life.
Was that a scheduled drop off by the Squire, or what's going on with him?
I don't know where he went. Oh, he's still here. No, he's not. I don't know where he went.
Mary Brown's Pop Out brought to you by Mary Brown's.
Yeah, Mary Brown's Pop Out.
They're not a sponsor anymore.
Anyways, we're on to game 2, 7-game series. We lost the first one in LA.
They're not a sponsor anymore. You don't think I know that? Your check? It's a joke.
The after the game press conferences were nice to listen to too. I mean,
salty.
And like Matthew Tkachuk saying like, we can't let him crawl back in there, and he's not wrong, you know. But the fact is we if we would have gotten just hammered and shown no life, this conversation today would have been a lot bleaker.
Yeah, I don't think that this is a game you come away with feeling dejected.
Got to tighten some shit up.
Yes. Exactly. Or are you pissed? You think they're going to sweep them? Like, what the fuck, people?
I think the problem for me was just that they looked so, just not ready to go. Like, and I know the Oilers have had slow starts. I mean, over the last year or two, we've been talking about it a lot, but like that one was just like, we were all ready to go, but they were not. And that was a bummer.
No, you saw them sitting on their heels a lot. And I've been harping on the play of one Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, but I was kind of hyper watching him last night. And, you know, I don't know what it is with him, but
he can't be on that line.
He's just not effective right now. There was a shot from the point that almost went in, and I rewound it for my sons, and I was like, look at him. He does a curl, and with zero urgency starts to skate out to the puck carrier, and just, he could have made it if he was just skating like Hyman. You know what I mean? And he could have gotten the way of that shot. He looks not motivated right now. And it sucks to say because I love that guy, right?
I think that line is trash and should never be together again.
Oh, never again.
Like Archibald, Nuge, and Ryan it did not work. Like even when Nuge got moved up, and I'm not trying to pump his tires, even though that's on brand, but like he looked so much better playing with actual skilled players.
Yeah, talk about that power play for a minute. My God, somebody did their homework on our power play. It was awful. What they were doing is it looked like they knew that we run it from the point and that we get it down low for shots. So they were kind of not doing a box as a square, but they were more doing a diamond where their one guy stays high and just creates havoc up top. And we could not get any type of like structure. We were getting pressured. I've always said you got to have a passive box does not work in a power play, or in a penalty kill. You've got to have an aggressive box and go after these guys. They did it last night. They knew exactly what we were doing, and we did not change our focus, to like everybody knows McDavid's going to skate it in. Everybody knows that the guy that's carrying the puck at center is not dumping it and is not skating it in. That McDavid is going to take it on a backhand pass and wheel. And they had an answer for it. And then even if we did get the zone, they had an answer for that too. Like they've got to think some things through. It's like those guys were so robotic and they didn't change their style. And it was the least effective power play I've ever seen.
I'm with you. You could see from the second power play attempt that they had, it was like, holy fuck, the Flames are aggressive tonight. And the Oilers just never adjusted to the fact that you're right. Calgary knew it starts at the top and it goes down low, and Edmonton just couldn't figure out a way to run their power play any way differently. And it took them 3 or 4 attempts to finally figure out how to break into the zone even before they could even try to get set up. So it was super annoying.
Yeah. When you play with that like umbrella where the high defense stands right on the blue line, and then you've got the wingers that are kind of on the board just around the ringette line, you have 2 passing lanes there, and they were blocking them off. They were in those lanes. They were causing havoc. Our guys, it's like they had never felt pressure before on that. They didn't know what to do with it. And it was frustrating because, that one power play where we scored the first goal, it was 3-1. That was a real opportunity for a momentum shift. If we could have scored on that power play, I mean, the momentum shift came later, but that would have been a nice place to start it. And you saw 45 seconds in the power play. It was not coming.
Yeah. We move on to game 2 though. Yep. A good venting session. This was nice. I feel like we aired all of our grievances, and now I feel ready to be positive for game 2.
Yeah. Going on Twitter after when we go down and shitting on this team, if we go down a couple goals, I mean, what does that do? Is that your way of venting? I really don't understand it. Like,
yeah, it's my way of venting in a way.
You're either with them or you're not. Like,
are you new to the app, Chalmers? That's what 99% of Oilers Twitter is.
I guess I just live in a utopian universe where I just think that people can relax for a minute. Like, I don't know. It's just with 13 minutes left in the first, people are saying, I'm going to bed. This is dumb. This team has nothing. And you're like, there's a lot of
Chalmers, if you want to relax, go to a Sandals resort. This is Oilers Twitter. We're here to get hype. We're here to get each other's faces. We're here to tell each other off and then come back together 1 minute later when the Oilers score.
Well, if you tell them off, don't expect to come back together with me. I ain't having it.
No, I'm with you, Wanye. I was telling everybody they're idiots last night.
I don't want you back.
No room in the bandwagon.
No.
Now, something positive. How good was the intro to the game on Sportsnet?
Oh, yeah. That got me fired up.
Unbelievable.
The kickstart my heart.
Oh, so well done.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. I thought,
I was hyped.
But then again, like, I don't know. I don't need to keep dwelling on it. Just ignore it.
Oh my God.
I want to move on. I feel like this podcast, because we're all so just balls deep in the Oilers playoff run, it hasn't had its usual flavor of nonsense. You know, usually we're good to go off on like 2 or 3 solid tangents every episode.
That's what real life is about. During playoffs, we care about nothing else.
Yeah, I guess.
We're singularly focused on Oilers hockey.
Like, I keep waiting for you, Wanye, to be like, I saw this thing the other day, and like,
no, I saw the Oilers play last night, and then I did a podcast this morning already. By 1 p.m., I've already done one about the Oilers.
I feel like I'm even treating my own day-to-day life like I'm involved in the series like a player.
Yes,
like
you are involved. You need to rest. You need to hydrate.
Like, I've established a rule where I won't, like, no drinking if they aren't playing. Like, nope, that day is for recovery. Like, don't make plans in the evening because I'm going to bed early. Like, I have a whole system of like how I prepare for my game days now.
Do you have any lucky charms going this playoff series yet?
Well, the rally romper will come out only when they really need it. So there's that. No, only when you really need it.
Bag milk, you got any superstitions going?
No, not really. One thing that, I mean, like, if I can knock this flu out, I'd like to be back amongst people watching the game on Friday, but who knows if that'll be doable. I feel like a pound of shit, but other than that, no. It was weird to be screaming at nobody with nobody last night.
That's the name of my sex tape.
Uh-huh.
Ramjack, thoughts?
Thoughts on sex tapes?
That name of my sex tape is pretty funny, I think. Yeah,
it could work.
This podcast should be called Long Uncomfortable Silences, brought to you by the HGA Group.
Chalmers, you're not watching the game in your basement anymore, right?
No, I was in the kitchen again last night. I didn't wear my Messier jersey. I wore my Oilers Nation hoodie, my Oilers Nation hat. You know, the basement's off limits until I was hoping that we would get up a couple games. Maybe it'd be like 2-1 and I can watch game 4 in there, maybe try to break the curse. But as of right now, that basement's off limits. And other than that, I'm just, you know, I'm trying to decide if I got to have something that I wear that's lucky, because, you know, game 2, I'll probably try my jersey again.
Here's the ace in the hole I got going, Chalmers. Tell me what you think about this. When the Oilers were down to the Kings in the series, I took my Lucky McDavid jersey off and I hung it on the banister of Wanye Manor, and I haven't touched it since. And they came back to win the series. I feel like that is a huge play by myself. Hat tip to Connor McDavid for actually playing for the Oilers and doing huge things.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I like it. I mean, like anybody that's a little bit superstitious, like when I used to play hockey, I used to eat the same thing before games. I used to eat the same time, roughly like before the game.
Would you eat a light bulb?
I would, you know, no, I used to have spaghetti. I used to eat lots of spaghetti, lots of some form of pasta.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Yes.
If I didn't eat, then I just didn't eat. But you know, I always take my steak free game. I mean, I don't know. I've lost some of the rituals, but man, if you got something that's working, keep doing it.
Long, awkward pauses.
Low energy podcast.
Anyways,
I feel like
much, and I'll what's that?
We can just barely hear you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You're better now.
Oh,
Jay drops off. Like, what
yeah,
the
Jay
fuck
just
is
left and never came back.
This is just a real spotty showing by the boys here.
Yeah, we are. This is our game 1.
We've matched the Oilers in their intensity.
Ah. But that's even what I mean. Like I was talking about how we haven't done like nonsense or gone off on any tangents because
I started talking about OnlyFans and I heard crickets and I actually like almost voted myself off the podcast.
You almost pulled a J and just dipped.
You just dip, boing.
I feel like, again, we're just like not wasting, but like using all of our energy on like game day and watching the game and pouring ourselves into what happens for the 60 minutes of hockey.
I was so spent after the game last night. No exaggeration. Within 10 minutes of the game being over, I was asleep.
I buy that. Yeah.
It was as though I'd done something, even though I've done nothing.
It's exhausting.
I agree.
Kylie.
Game 7 against the Kings, I did not sit down once. I was solo at my house and I stood the entire game. And then I backed that up last night. I didn't sit down once. Even when they were down by 4, I was standing. Put down your Fitbit and smoke it.
Boys, I got to get back to work so that I got to
What the fuck? You came late and left early?
Go ahead.
All right. Good chat, Charles.
Oh boy. This is going to require some post-production.
Right.
Wanye, can I tell you a story?
Yeah, I'm getting bad service.
Okay, just leave, Charles. Just go.
I want to.
Knows he has no service, goes on a rant.
So, Wanye, I want to tell you a story about a DM I got the other day. So this guy DMs me and he goes, "Hey, I'm a big Nation guy. I love everything you do." And he goes, "But can you help me? Because I was blocked by the account and I don't think I should have been."
Appeal process.
So he sends me a screenshot of the tweet and it was you posting a photo of Wanye Jr. And in the photo, Wanye Jr. is wearing camouflage pants.
Yeah.
And the guy replied and said, "Wow, like shout out to that kid for being born with no legs." Cause like as a joke about camo pants, you can't see them. And you blocked him.
Yeah, no, I blocked that guy.
Yeah. Anyways.
Oh, wow. Well, that's fair. Did you unappeal him?
Yeah, I did. I was like, I understand where the joke is here. I was like, be on your best behavior though, because Wanye is always watching.
Well, I ban people all the time, man. You know how it is running that account.
Oh, yeah.
So many people say such offside shit.
Oh, yeah.
That I have a nightclub bouncer attitude towards this, where like if you're in a busy nightclub and you act up, you're thrown out. Doesn't matter if you're right. It doesn't matter if you're wrong, because the herd can't be spooked in a full nightclub. This is a theory, right?
Yeah.
Same online. If you're like saying sassy shit or whatever in the comments and stuff, or I don't like what your reply is, you're blocked. I don't really give a flying fuck. It's for the enjoyment of everybody else on Twitter.
If you're going to be sassy, you have to live with the potential consequences.
In that instance, though, I do understand that what you're saying. It's a joke. I thought I was just reading like, who the fuck says Wanye Jr. has no legs? Block.
And that's why I wanted to share the story. So that was funny. It was good, but he's back.
I told Wanye Jr. this morning that the Oilers won.
He'll never know.
He won't figure that out for years.
That's the way to do it, I think.
Whenever I see him, I'm like, win, lose, or draw. I'm like, the Oilers played last night, son, and they were so great. They were scoring left and right. They can't wait for you to come watch them. They said it specifically.
Hey, speaking of Wanye, because someone made this comment to me the other day. They said, the only Wayne we need is Wanye. And it was in response to Gretzky picking the Flames to beat the Oilers. What's your take on that?
That's kind. Well, I think he's just stirring the pot. Right?
You're not like offended that the greatest Oiler of all time doesn't believe in them?
Hey, who gets a hall pass if not Wayne Gretzky? Here are the heroes of my life. Wayne Gretzky, Connor McDavid, the rest of Earth.
You're very optimistic recently. I give you credit for that.
I like that.
Man, I felt like they were going to come back against LA and they did. Like, I think the Oilers are going to go to the conference finals. I honestly do.
I just ride the roller coaster too hard.
I'm not betting too, right? That may be something else that has to do with it. Like I can bounce back from a loss because I lost nothing except my pride and my virginity.
I have $0 on them to win this series. I did not bet on them to win the series straight up. I bet on some props yesterday. I actually made money last night, but I did not place a wager on them because I knew my heart, like I might have a heart attack just because I care so much about them. I don't need to have money on the line if they lose this thing in 7 games.
Oh shit. Unrelated. It is hailing.
It's hailing where you are?
Yep.
It's raining where I'm at.
It just stopped raining.
Like it's hailing hard where I am.
That's not bueno.
Where do I live? Equality. On a research space. Me and your M-Chuck's dad.
Hey, everyone got to meet him the other day.
Really? What was that like?
I thought it was
Straight
really.
face?
I thought it was really funny because Tyler rolls up in Fort Hall in the romper. We all meet Tyler's dad, and he was just kind of like very stern faced about the whole thing, and I found that very enjoyable.
He just
Exactly how you imagined him.
Yeah, I think so. You know, I thought I could also see him from the seats I was at during Game 7. And I thought it was very enjoyable that Tyler was sitting there in the romper next to his dad. That was probably like, I don't know why you're wearing that, but I liked it.
Yep, he didn't get it, but that's okay. And if he happens to want to take me to Game 3 or 4, boy, I hope I don't have to wear the romper next to him and make him live through that kind of embarrassment again.
Speaking of family members, shout out to Lauren Kyle for making all the Wags matching blazers. You see this?
Yeah, that's neat. Hey,
Lauren Kyle is nice. Okay. And she does a lot of stuff that takes time out of her day. And I respect her for it because a lot of these Wags don't go out of their way for nobody or nothing. And she seems like a nice person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she does.
I'm sure dating Connor, I'm sure he ain't no treat. We see what he looks like on TV. He's probably a grim-faced bastard working out in his gym every day. I think Lauren Kyle could do better. And I think Connor McDavid's the greatest man in the world. Up with Gretzky. Thank you for making blazers, especially for Warren Fogel's girlfriend, who seems very funny and nice.
And also for Kyle Turris' girlfriend.
Oh.
I had a funny joke before he got recalled and he was just like sitting on IR or whatever he was doing, that like Kyle Turris' wife goes to leave the house in her wives and girlfriend jacket being like, I'm going to watch the Oilers with the girls. And Kyle Turris is like sitting on the couch at home and he's like, have fun.
Can I get one of those jackets? Sorry, Lauren says team members only.
I'll be sleeping when you get home.
Oh, no.
Come on. But he's back now. He's a black ace. And if one of these games goes to a shootout, they will lift him down from the rafters like the San Jose Sharks did with their mascot.
That's
that
Kyle
one time.
Turris' music.
They'll get a penalty shot in like Game 4, and it'll be Puljujarvi on the bench ripping off his head Scooby-Doo style to reveal that he is actually Kyle Turris to come take the penalty shot. Fuck, there's something else I wanted to say about the BOA that I thought was funny. It was like a viral thing, but now I forget. Oh, Bag Milk, just because I think you'll get a chuckle out of this because of one of the conversations we had when we were down in LA. How about the Arizona Coyotes not being allowed to put their own logo at center ice of their new arena?
I saw that too. And I just like, what a farce this whole thing.
Disrespect the franchise is being shown by Arizona.
And they're having like, they've got like some kind of, they have to be on good behavior or something like that. Like I was reading a story yesterday and it made me laugh out loud. It's just such nonsense.
So when we were in LA, Wanye, we ran into a couple from Phoenix who was telling us about some of the stuff that's going on with that deal. Apparently the arena won't be ready in time for the start of next season. So the Coyotes have to play their first 20 games of the year on the road.
Oh my God.
And also they don't have priority booking over the college teams. So during the college sports season, they won't play any home games on the weekend. They'll all be weekdays.
And this is the best answer we have.
And majority of the seats in the arena apparently aren't actual seats. It's just bleachers, and they can't have their own logo at center ice, and they don't own any of the advertising spaces on the ice.
And it's not actually ice. It's Jell-O pudding pops frozen in place. And Jell-O's the main sponsor of the team.
More or less. This whole thing is just hilarious. I know you guys.
Did you see that the Niagara Ice Dogs just sold for $20 million?
An OHL team.
Yeah. I wonder if they're more valuable than the Arizona Coyotes right now in terms of revenue generators. They probably have a bigger arena.
I know you guys follow her on Twitter, Ava at Ava Tarrant. She's hilarious. She just passed me in how many followers she has, she's
the funniest person in the hockey Twitter world. I swear
she is. It's not
every day. It's 30 different bangers. I don't know how she does it.
So there was a tweet going around. It was what's the most intense rivalry in sports? And she quote tweeted it and said, Arizona Coyotes versus financial stability. Oh, it's so funny.
Best.
She's going on this bit right now trying to attract free agents to Winnipeg by just tweeting out photos of like tropical resorts and being like, beautiful morning in Winnipeg, right? Pending NHL free agents.
Is she doing any work with Jets Nation? We tried, right, Beg?
Yep. No, she contributes on socials for us.
Is she lighting it up like she does on her own?
It's a little bit slower than probably you'd think, given the quality of the joke she puts out. But
she's so funny.
I think that's more a product of Winnipeg being a weird spot.
Yeah, you can tell going through the Jets Nation Twitter, like the tweets she's responsible for. Very easy to see.
I find myself interested in the Jets just because of her repeated takes on how shitty they are.
Yeah. And she has a weird love for Nick Ehlers too, which is hilarious. Okay, well, let's work our way towards the end of this thing. Shout out to our friends at Oodle Noodle and DoorDash, by the way. Oh, I got the ding dong. Come on. Do we want the Liam ding dong?
Ding dong.
Shout out to DoorDash. Pair it up with Oodle Noodle.
Liam, where are you now?
No matter.
Still at work?
Yes, he's still grinding it out.
Where is Liam now? I wonder. Eh? Oh, he's still where he was before. Oh, okay.
Promo code RealLifeDD gets you 25% off and no delivery fees on your first order when you use DoorDash. Ding dong. That ding dong's not as much fun as
ding dong.
That one.
I like it pronounces the G in dong.
Ding dong.
I told you I have a cracked lip, so I'm trying not to laugh very hard today, and that's been tough.
It's time to laugh again. Nature's healing.
Nature is healing. All right, game 4. I saw we just announced, put it on our socials. Pint on White tomorrow is the watch party. Fairmont JPL Alfa Romeo experience, playoff experience. We got a jersey we're giving away as well. I'll be there handing out free beers to the nation citizens if I feel the need to.
Free beer?
Sometimes I just walk around and I'll go, buy this man a beer on the nation. And a server runs over and a jester.
And then there's a guy that isn't even with us. You're like, he'll pay.
Mm-hmm. That's actually kind of how it works, except that guy's just Jared all the time and I'm shouting for him to buy people stuff. I saw Nico Jolly at the game. That's the shout out I wanted to give to Nico Jolly.
Jolly.
Yeah, he came up
Hilarious.
and watched Spiced Oil. Came up and watched game 3 or game 1. Jesus Christ, with us at beer.
He did a hell of a fan cam video last game.
He did?
Yeah.
Nice. Good stuff. All right. Well, let's wrap this up because like I said, this was our game 1 of podcast. We just grinded through this thing. We all stayed at home. None of us even went into the office. We just sat.
Jay was in the office.
Oh, Jay was in the office.
I made it through without vomiting. I made it through without vomiting. That should be a highlight.
I feel for you, man. I feel for you. Something nasty's going around. Not COVID, but something nasty's going around.
I already had it. It wasn't good.
I keep testing negative for COVID, so it's not that. I just got absolutely flatlined here.
Well, you rest, you recover. The boys need you in game 2. And,
goodbye, everybody.
Yep. See everybody. Yeah, we're just going to wrap this up. This is just shout out to the HGA group. I don't know. It's over.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Real Life Podcast. Don't want to miss any of our nonsense? Hit the subscribe button and give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram.